Well, it's Wednesday, and you all know what that means. That means we're going to be reviewing once again with AEW Dynamite, continuing with more of the Continental Classic with 3 matches to go with the Gold League. And also, we also have other special matches taking place as well. But first things first, we're going to review, of course, with New Japan Pro Wrestling with more of the World Tag League with Day 8. This one, we're only going to focus, I believe, on the B block matches only. However, something very interesting happened at the start of the event. Something that I normally did not well, normally I don't review the non-tournament events, but this one you definitely got to hear. And then of course we got some news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, any wrestlers that either been signed or departing from the promotion, injured wrestlers, the whole enchilada. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Leaded Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Leaded Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of reviews from various wrestling promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to. We also do more news updates. If I'm able to put it on this episode, I'll do it by itself. And we also do some various other cool stuff that you guys may like. So if you like this, what you see, please subscribe to us. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool stuff on this channel. But if you also like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or leave us a nice comment down below. Now, let's begin with our very first review. As you know, we are now currently in day 8 of New Japan Pro Wrestling World Tag League. Now, normally when I do these type of events, review any of these shows, apparently I do not talk about the preview matches with New Japan. However, this one caught my attention because I was surprised when I woke up in the morning. I did not expect this one. It was very surprising. Now, the opening match of the show features the House of Torture and Gates of Agony. Now, these type of matches happened before their main matches. Their match was supposed to take place on Friday, but however, something interesting happened. The Gates of Agony teamed up with Yuto Nakashima, where of course they faced the House of Torture, more specifically Evil Yujiro, and along with the spoiler Dick Togo. Now, members of the House of Torture kind of distract the Gates of Agony while leaving Dick Togo in the deal with Nakashima. However, this later turned into a different type of circumstances where Evil decided to extend an offer to the Gates of Agony to side with them. So Teo Leona immediately just wore the short. Like, I don't think he gives a shit. I think he just enjoys doing this. Even Bishop Khan took a minute to think about it, and then later he put on the shirt, and now it's been foretold the Gates of Agony are now in league with the House of Torture. So basically, I don't know how this coming Friday is going to be between them. I mean, Evil is the kind of guy who I feel like, I don't know if they're still with Bullet Club. That's the thing, I don't know. But we'll see how it comes on Friday. Now, let's start with the B matches for one. Our first match, we have the Rogue Army, Jack Banza and Balak Fale, taking on Zandokan Jr., and Yoda Tsuji. Now, of course, Rogue Army were in the since start of the tournament. They had no wins, but could this be their lucky day? Well, it kind of did, because I have to say it took a while for Banza and Fale to, in fact, to get it together. To be more of a cohesive team. We know that Tsuji can be cohesive with his teammate, but they were able to pick up a good win when, of course, Fale applied an elbow drop on Zandokan Jr., but it was Banza who actually picked up the win with the pinfall, giving, of course, Rogue Army their first 2 points. Next match, we have Minoru Suzuki and Yuji Nagata taking on the GOD, El Fantasmo and Hikuleo. Now, keep in mind, the last 2 matches that the GOD had were not successful. Apparently, they had lost 2 matches. But since the start of the tournament, they were able to get their first. And that was against Bishamon. But however, they're facing against the veteran team that are far more dangerous than them. But you probably would think it would have been a piece of cake. However, I did like some good moments of this match. Of course, the one thing that was more scary is you don't want to be alone with Minoru Suzuki. That's the last thing you need. But, however, Suzuki suffered the fate of the CR2 by El Fantasmo, giving them a good win. So right now, they're back on track with 2 more points, adding with a total of 4 points. That means they only have 2 wins and 2 losses. As for Minoru Suzuki and Yuji Nagata, well, they are still winless, so they still got 0. Next up, we have Monster Sauce, Alex Zane, and Alex Archer. Well, Zane finally got his wrestling gear back, so that's a good thing. They face off against just 5 guys. Now, you probably would say this is going to be an interesting match, because it is. These 2 teams are tied, but another factor has been added to this. If you guys are big Suzuki-gun fans, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that Lance Archer and Taichi were one-time members of Suzuki-gun. So that kind of puts it in a perspective like, okay, we'll treat this as a competition no matter what. I mean, we used to be teammates. Now we went our separate ways. So you can say that maybe they could bear the hatchet. But one thing, it was a fantastic match. Not going to lie about it. But I have to say, Yu Uemura put up a hell of a fight. But unfortunately, he ended up in the hands of both members when they applied the blackout sauce. And it was Lance Archer that pinned Uemura to give them 2 more points, making them in the lead of the block with no losses so forever. Now, I could say for me in this particular block, right now I feel like if Monster Sauce keep things off, it's a matter of time when they win Tag League. But just 5 guys are basically like fan favorites in this one. But we'll see how that rolls up. Now, our main event is Soberano Jr. and Atlantis Jr. taking on the tag teams champions Bishamon. So you would say this is going to be a good opportunity for Soberano and Atlantis, because if they pin them, they could actually cash in an opportunity for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team title. But the match was fantastic in every way. I mean, they went up to 30 minutes and it ended in a time limit draw. I'm sure it's satisfied. So at the current points, they have Soberano Jr. and Atlantis has 5 points. As for Bishamon, they only have 3. So we'll see where this leads them down the line in the future. So I think that's pretty much it, what we have for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's move on with AEW Dynamite. Okay, AEW Dynamite. Now, as you know, we continue with more of the Continental Classic. This time we're following with the Gold League. Now, as you know, Bryan Danielson hasn't had his first match just yet. But however, he decided to have a close-up look on the Gold League by joining the commentary group. Now, he only appeared in the 3 matches that were booked for that one. So the first match is none other than Jon Moxley versus Jay Lethal. Now, of course, the obvious question that they asked to Daniel Bryanson, what if it's you and Moxley in the end? He said he doesn't mind due to the fact that they train together, they beat the crap out of each other. It's simple as that for them. It doesn't matter as long as They enjoy fighting. That's all that matters. But Jon Moxley put a whole herd of Jay Lethal. Now, of course, Jay Lethal doesn't have his little dickwads helping him out this time. But however, this match particularly, Jon Moxley won when he pulled off a beautiful reverse on a chokehold, putting Jay Lethal away, giving him his next 3 points, putting him at the lead as 6 points. As for Lethal, 0. Now, during an interview with Tony Schiavone, there is one simple question that many people ask. Okay, what's going to happen at the retirement of Sting? When's going to happen? Where it's going to be? Now, we know it's going to be next year in 2024 in Revolution. However, Revolution has been decided. Now, the obvious question does tell, where is going to be the location? Well, they thought of that, and that's going to be at Greensboro Coliseum, which is the same location where Sting defeated Nature Boy Ric Flair in 1988. So it's basically more like where his career started all the way to the end. So basically, we're all looking for it, and this is going to take place on March 3rd. So I'm looking forward to see that when that happens. And of course, Sting is there giving his thoughts, and even Nature Boy giving his thoughts about, yes, Sting put himself on the map. I may have been the one that influenced the career of him to go to the top. Well, he did that all by himself. So basically, we all going to see what's going to happen. Now let's jump into the next, of course, a Continental Classic match. We have Mark Briscoe versus Rush. Now, Rush, on the other hand, he is happy with the idea of having Mark Briscoe, according to what I don't remember who was it. So someone from the commentary team mentioned it, saying that of course they're both almost the similarities. It's uncanny, but it's great. However, because one thing I was surprised, it only took 3 of the bullhorns to put down Mark Briscoe. I mean, it tells like Briscoe is a tough SOB, as you know too well. But when it comes to Rush, nada pasa. So that's always been the case. So he picked up his first win with 3 points. So that means right now, Briscoe is the only one at this point in 0 points. Now, as you know, RJ City decided to pay a little visit to Tony Storm, who is already completely wasted. However, about the acceptance ceremony, she did find what Sky Blue, how do I say, kind of rude. However, RJ did inform her, are you sure you're going to be okay in this condition, due to the fact that she's been announced to be defending the AEW Women's Championship at next week. But she says that certain people who were in her condition, that they ever have to worry about it, well, they don't. But yes. Now, after a gruesome beating and all this thing that's been going on, MJF cuts out a promo. He talked about something that he felt that he wanted to address about Samoa Joe, about how Samoa Joe was one of those wrestlers that you didn't need a good looking body. All you need is this athleticism, what he does, and all this. I mean, he did address something that was true. WWE had no intentions possibly to give him the WWE title, not because they don't want to, it's because many times WWE has this saying like, we need wrestlers in good conditions. And I think that's something that people can say, this is why we hate WWE. They think what wrestlers should do and how they're supposed to look like. But yes, however, while this is happening, the Devil's goons showed up and attacked MJF, trying to take him out. However, Samoa Joe showed up to help out. But MJF is not happy with the Devil making his move. We don't know who he is. Why is he doing this? But of course, MJF, I know he appreciates the help of Samoa Joe, but he doesn't need him right now at this moment. He gave him what he wanted, the title match, which he honorably gave. But of course, Samoa Joe is only looking out for him because he wants the very best of MJF, the very best that he hasn't been seen yet, that he has to be seen yet. But we'll see where that leads us till then. Now, our next match, we have Wardlow versus AR Fox. Now, as you know, AR Fox had some things to say because, as you know, there is one thing that Wardlow has on his mind, and that is the AEW World Title to try to end the reign of the Devil of MJF. However, of course, this match ended with a ref stoppage after a powerbomb symphony, and it was over from there. Our next match, we have a very special one. We have a six-man tag. First team, we have Brother Zay and the Hardys with Action Andretti and the return of Dante Martin with his brother Darius Top Flight. I have to say this was a homecoming because the entirety of the show was in Minneapolis, their hometown. I think it was a great comeback. Now I saw the footage where they repeat what happened to Dante with his foot. That scared the hell out of me. I'm like, I get nightmares. It's almost similar to what happened to Ray Phoenix. I don't remember, was it last year where he hurt dislocated his arm? That was ugly, and I'm like, ugh. But it could have been the end of his career, but it didn't happen. But it was a fantastic match and a great return from them. But it was Dante Martin who picked up the win when he pinned Brother Zay, giving him the win. However, during the interview with Renee Paquette, we had a very surprising visitor, and that is none other than Penta, and saying, how about the three of you against the three of us? And the three of him, as you know, Ray Phoenix is not there. It's going to be him, Commander, and Hijo de Vikingo. So that's going to be an interesting match to watch. Our next match we have, of course, is the TBS title in the open house rules. Julia Hart versus Emi Sakura. Now, you probably can think that this is going to be a tough battle. It was. However, it was, of course, Julia Hart with the moonsault that put away Emi Sakura, and, of course, declaring that the house always wins. Now, all of a sudden, Christian Cage showed up with a couple of bodyguards. As you know, he wanted to talk to Adam Copeland to what has about everything. But unfortunately, Adam Copeland, who knows Christian all too well. Sorry about the camera, probably it's my brother's dog. Okay. So anyway, Christian was attempting to whack Adam Copeland right with the TNT belt. Well, it didn't work, and kicked him in the gonads, meaning that part. But he told him that he will face him next week for the TNT title, and then he told him to go F himself. Yes, he actually said it. Now, if you saw it on the TNT on the TBS network, you won't be hear it. But if you see it on the Fight TV thing, you actually hear it. I actually listened to both of them, so it's fantastic. Now, our next match is our main event. Of course, Bryan Danielson showed up for this one. Is the Continental Classic Gold League. We have Jay White versus Swerve Strickland. Now, I knew from this match was going to be awesome because you have Jay White, as you know, one of the best wrestlers ever. He is determined to make it to the top. Swerve Strickland felt that he should have been at the top to begin with, but it did not, of course. So but this time Jay White, as you know, you would have wanted to see him win, but however, somehow Swerve countered the Blade Runner and picked up a win by pinfall. This is a very thing. So basically, right now we have Swerve, Jon Moxley on the lead. So basically, one of those two has to take up the lead. Now, we're not done with the Continental Classic just yet. Now, we do probably expect more at Collision. Until then, we'll see. But right now, I think that's pretty much it, what we have with AEW. Let's move on with some news updates. Okay, welcome to our news update. So we don't have a whole lot to update on everybody, but there's only a few things we want to update on everybody. First one, we want to give a congratulations to Sammy Guevara and his wife Ty Mello on the birth of their daughter Luna As you know, Sammy has been out of action not only from injury, but also to be there with his wife when they gave birth to their daughter. Now it's been like months expecting. Now we don't know how long time Mello will be out. We don't know if she'll be returning to the ring or not. But I'm sure this is a very joyful moment for them that they're finally parents. I know they're young. There will be some challenges up ahead. All we can do is give our love and support to them. So congratulations, Sammy and Ty Mello, on your first child. Now, our last update here. As you know, I mentioned a lot as we go. Prestige Wrestling are announcing more stuff. What's going on for their upcoming event in January for Roseland 7 on January 5th of 2024. Two matches have been announced. The first one is a Rose City Death match with Amira versus Drex. I think that's his name. That's going to be a hardcore, bloody match. I can't wait to see how that's going to go. But the second one, we have Liza Hall facing off the debut of Sky Blue. That's right, you heard me. Sky Blue is in this match, so I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how everything goes with this. I think that's pretty much it for all of our updates. So I'll see you guys on the next one. So, well, let's just call it a day, right? Okay. Hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you know, we have MLW, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. Now, I haven't decided if there's going to be more stuff to add, but we'll see. I initially was going to do more on this episode, but due to my well being at the moment, I've been feeling a little sick. I decided to minimize it for now. Hopefully, let's see how the next episode what's going to be. But for now, we'll just stick what we have and move forward. So I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.